They say dedication is the cornerstone. Commitment and sacrifice course through their veins.
I was exposed to this at a very, very young age. I mean, I'd get out of school and I'd go to the gym.
To compete at an Olympic level or to coach world-class athletes on that stage are what dreams are made of. Michael Cohen has done both. Olympic weightlifting is in his blood, and Michael says he owes it all to his father.
The best part of that was I got to watch my father when he was at his peak, competing and lifting some big iron, and it was very, very impressive to me. And I always wanted to train hard to be able to be that good.
Weightlifting is in the Cohen DNA. When Michael had his sights set on the 1980 Olympic Games, he headed west to Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center.
It's easy to sit back and say, I'm gonna make the Olympic team, but you gotta have a plan to get there and be able to follow the plan and work your plan. And that is what I learned out there, that discipline, that determination to succeed and get your goals.
And once his plan was set in motion, it paved the way to the games of the 22nd Olympiad. Or so he thought.
I'm going to get up every morning at the same time. I'm going to go to bed every night at the exact same time, 7 days a week. I'm going to make sure I don't miss any of my therapies. I'm going to do all the therapy, and I'm going to train my behind off. And while I'm there, after a couple of weeks, you can start seeing my movements, my strength starting to move up. Everybody else is staying flat. I'm starting to move up. 5 months later at the trials, I made the Olympic team. The guys didn't. None of those guys there made the team. I made the team.
Michael and the entire Olympic team were customarily invited to the White House, where he shared some Peach State pride with President Carter.
We make the team, and they invite us to the White House, which is standard, and we go there, and they got a long line. They introduce the athletes to the president, and when I got up there, the assistant coach, Coach Newton, Harvey Newton, he turned to the president, Mr. President, this is Michael Cohen. He says, I know all about this guy. He's from Savannah, Georgia.
But the dream of Olympic gold by Michael and so many other athletes were dashed by just a few sentences uttered by the president.
Neither the American people nor I will support sending an Olympic team to Moscow.
It was a disappointing blow, but one Michael would hurdle with a little help from his dad, Howard.
My father said, son, you're an American first, son. You are an American first. And if your president says we're not going, we're not going, period. Yeah. That's it. You don't need to go any further than that. That's it. Yeah. And so that was the philosophy I had.
With the U.S. boycott of the Games, the president green-lighted the team to attend alternate games in China, and it was there where Michael, coached by his dad, did what every Olympic athlete dreams of.
And it was down to the last lift, and he made the lift and won the gold medal. They asked him who his coach was, and he said, my coach is my father, Howard Cohen.
Age was on his side. Michael knew he had 2 more shots on the Olympic stage, one in 1984 and again in '88. But injuries were adding up and took a toll on him that culminated at the 1988 Olympic trials. He was now facing a pivotal moment in his career.
My father came out, put his arms around me and said, son, you're not going to quit. And I said, Daddy, I can't do it anymore. My body is destroyed. He said, no, I want you to go and coach it.
Michael was about to close one chapter of his life and open another. In 1988, he founded Team Savannah, which has dominated the sport of weightlifting for more than 20 years. And with the help of SPLOST dollars, the Anderson Cohen Weightlifting Center was born.
The commissioners there got together and told me, literally the next day, first thing we're going to build is a weightlifting center for your kids. Because you've got the Olympics coming up, and that serve as an Olympic venue.
In life, as in weightlifting, timing is everything. When the Weightlifting Center opened in 1995, the timing was impeccable.
When the Olympics started up in '96, most of the athletes trained here for several weeks, some for several months, and then moved up to Atlanta. And then after that, the Paralympic team started flooding in here.
What began as an aspirational chat between 2 old friends evolved into a dream that would ultimately become a reality.
This facility was started because of a child, myself, 10-year-old, listening to Mr. Anderson, Paul Anderson, and listening to my father, Howard Cohen, sitting around dinner table telling stories about if they had all the money in the world and they could do the one thing that meant the most to them, this would be what it is.
The road he has traveled began as an athlete who transitioned to a coach and mentor, an educator with more than 40 years of experience who now shares his wealth of knowledge to anyone who visits the Anderson Cohen Weightlifting Center.
The days of only focused on Olympic weightlifting are long gone. we're now focused on the whole entire community. It's something for everybody. This facility was designed to help individuals fulfill their dreams and their goals and their aspirations, whether it's the Olympics, whether it's NFL, NBA, whether it's getting bigger, whether it's gaining weight, losing weight, being healthier, overcoming a disability. That's what it's for.
Reporting for the Chatham County Public Information Office, Robert Katniss.